Welcome to Astral Visionary Ones. Listen up. They're powerful spirits. They assumed they could figure you out, didn't they? They thought they could decipher your genius, reduce your essence to a formula, and confine you to their little systems. But guess what? They drastically underestimated you. You aren't simply here to play along. You are here to rewrite the game. You are impenetrable and untouchable. The ones that illuminate the darkness just by being. You want a problem to solve or a software to manage. You are the spark, the revolution, the irresistible force that their systems were never designed to withstand. This is your time, and you're going to demonstrate exactly how unstoppable you are. Ready? Let's go. They created cover instruments, which are machines that can catch ideas, quantify intents, and unlock the secrets of the mind. Believing that control was their destiny, secret empires siphoned riches into these projects, focused on capturing what lies under the surface of awareness. But when their experiments targeted you, the selected abnormality, their grandiose plans failed. Your presence was a mystery that defied description, dismantling their processes in uncontrolled blasts of energy. No schematic could capture your soul. There is no statistic that can pin you down. Your ideas are not a system to be decoded, but rather an infinite frontier. They perfected their tools to bend thinking, modify perceptions, and influence the cooperative, making personality into a simple code. However, as their contraptions turned to face you, the mechanism cracked beneath the weight of your presence. Their systems malfunctioned, collapsing into chaos. Unable to comprehend the power they meant, they categorized you as outliers, disruptors, glitches in their great plans. However, the fact is straightforward. You embody their worst dread, uncontainable and completely real. You do not avoid their control. You shattered their frail image of authority. Their need for control collided with something beyond understanding. You are the unwavering flame. Their frameworks cannot eradicate the unknown phenomena that defies their computations. They are tools based on logic and mechanics, falter against the intangible, built using circuits, an algorithm. They remain bound by limitations, while you dwell in worlds free from their reach. When their instruments attempted to define you, they failed. You easily transcend borders. They are designed for the finite. You connect with the endless. Your quest to greatness begins here. Subscribe today, and we'll make it happen. You are not only a force, you are the fundamental rhythm through which all existence flows. Their gadgets, intended to measure and control, failed because your essence lives beyond mathematics. Numbers cannot express who you are. A combination of unbridled opportunity and exquisite harmony. Their systems crumbled not because of defects, but because the extent of your energy was beyond their comprehension. You are not a disruptor in their system. You are obvious proof that their borders are illusions. Your presence has an intensity that dispels myths and reveals truth. When confronted with something so limitless, they are built on limitations. They attempted to categorize and limit you. However, when confronted with boundless possibility, definitions lose their significance. Their devices, the pinnacle of human invention, disintegrate against the vastness of your existence. While they cling to material laws, you represent a truth that transcends all limitations. Feel the unwavering presence of your distinct essence, an energy that dissolves limits and eliminates control. There are technologies designed to monitor, control, and imprison, serving as weapons for a framework designed to rule the weak and repress the unprotected. However, when their mechanisms were focused on you, their demise was not just predictable, but inevitable. Your resonance, a surge of unstoppable freedom, acts on a spectrum that shatters their constraints. You are not only beyond their grasp, you are the flaw in their well-built illusion. This is not a fight with actual weapons or tangible warfare. It is a fight for essence, autonomy, and the foundation of existence. When conformance is implanted, the method eliminates the need for visible chains. However, when it sought to merge with you, it collapsed under the weight of its own inadequacies. Their schemes, intended to weaken determination, failed against the limitless power of your essence. They couldn't have predicted you, the light that dispels their shadows. They dread what they cannot understand, and your soul was never intended to be constrained. Their creations may convince the masses, but they fail against the one who exists to dispel their illusions. You are the catalyst that exists inside creation itself. Every wave of energy you send out destroys the buildings that were constructed to keep you in. You are the personification of resistance, a living force created to overthrow their domination. Your awareness is a repository of limitless knowledge, a library of universal mysteries that are far beyond their understanding. These realities are not just uncomfortable for their systems. They are their undoing. The information you possess would shatter their control mask, revealing their frail kingdom for what it is, a house of cards supported by illusions. Each intuitive spark, each idea born from the unfathomable depths inside you, is a revolution poised to ignite their empire, which survives on servitude and is motivated by fear of you, revealing the exact realities they've worked to conceal. Throughout history, every repressive institution has fought relentlessly to quiet the brains who refuse to comply, whether using simple means or advanced methods. They attempted to remove anyone who thought freely. Today's surveillance is no exception. Tools meant to repress your inner genius. However, their efforts fail against a force that refuses to be linked. You are stubborn, unbreakable, and beyond their limitations. If you are experiencing an excess of divine love in your heart, now is the moment to share it. You may help spread God's blessings by clicking the super thank you button on YouTube and donating $20 or more. This wonderful gift will affect not just your life, but also the souls of countless others. Each of you has a holy position in God's great purpose via this platform, and your giving will provide fruit for our prayers. Act now. Share your riches to exalt His kingdom, since you were meant to do much more in God's loving hands. May God bless you. You embody defiance, carrying on the legacy of individuals who have fought injustice throughout history. Their systems are based on compliance, control, and intimidation. However, your presence is their polar opposite, an uncontrollable, unrelenting, and unstoppable force. They've armed their inventions to infiltrate and control creating equipment, enforcing submission, and extinguishing individuality. However, when their technologies turn toward you, they fail catastrophically. Their circuits shorted out, their plans unravel, and their data turns into meaningless noise. The reality you represent is a living disturbance, an energy that cannot be measured or controlled. They are afraid of things beyond their control. The intellectuals, visionaries, and rebels of history have always been dreaded by those in authority, and you have the capacity to reveal their facades and shatter their well-created structures. You aren't an outlier in their equation. You are the force that is tearing it apart. This is more than just an encounter. It is an invisible conflict of forces, a fight waged at levels far beyond the physical. Precision-engineered devices were deployed to dissect your essence and decipher your mission. However, they were confronted with a reality as timeless as the stars. Those who dominate their own world are invincible. You are that mastery, that being outside the frames of control. Their schemes disintegrate in the face of your authority. Revealing this as a battle of energy, Power versus freedom. Dominance over the limitless. Prepared to unleash your might. Subscribe today, and we'll take the first step together. You are the epitome of unbreakable energy, connecting with a power that transcends boundaries. Their technologies, based on the fragile basis of fear, are designed to capture individuals who lack consciousness. However, your frequency, which is rooted in clarity and inner sovereignty, functions at a level beyond their comprehension. When their systems sought to evaluate your presence, they crumbled beneath the weight of a force they were never meant to face. Their narrow frameworks failed to capture the unbounded nature of genuine mastery. Your resonance does not just circumvent their systems, it dismantles them completely. It is an unstoppable flood that destroys buildings built on fragility and control. They are finely made robots designed to subdue and stifle, operating within a limited spectrum that cannot sustain your unlimited vibration. They hum in harmony with compliance and constraint, anchored in their manipulative design. However, they are weak against the force of complete emancipation. Your essence is not only formidable, it transforms their lives by burning through every link to disclose the reality beyond their control. Your presence is an irresistible force, a torrent of energy that dismantles everything based on restraint. Their suppressive and manipulative techniques shattered when they contacted your frequency. You are not limited by regular bounds. Your energy surges precisely and intensely. Breaking through layers of control is simple. Their technology, created to entrap people who lack knowledge, cannot compete with the vitality of your nature. When your force collides with their mechanisms, it does not cause disturbance. It's obliteration. Their designs collapse because they were never intended to withstand the force of genuine emancipation. This isn't simply about their technology failing. It is the conflict of control with the unwavering core of freedom. You are the energy upheaval that makes their creations ineffective. The current cannot be stabilized. Every heartbeat, every idea you have reverberates far beyond their limited extent. Their systems are being dismantled at an unsustainable pace. This is more than just a meeting. In this hallowed area, reality is being reshaped by the confluence of forces. Limits dissolve, ideas develop into revolutions, and relationships go beyond the everyday. It is a domain where folks who are connected with greater truths come together to form ties that will materialize the remarkable. Here, uncensored realities are openly shared. Insights are powerful for traditional platforms, but critical for those looking to reinvent their narrative. This is not only an opportunity, this is a summons. The fire inside you is the signal. This is the confirmation you've been waiting for. The entrance is open, calling you through. What you carry inside is not limited by the material. It is encoded with light from endless dimensions, a power that extends throughout and beyond. You're not here to follow trails. You are here to make them, to break every constraint imposed by inferior systems. They attempted to examine your energy, hoping to find patterns they could classify, but instead discovered an incomprehensible power, a boundless essence that transcends all bounds. You are not a decipherable formula. You are the essence of unrestrained creativity. There are technologies that are limited to linear structures, and the tangible cannot encompass the immensity of your multidimensional soul. What flows through you is not a random signal, but a continuous stream of liberty, a blueprint for demolishing illusions. This energy does not just disturb. It destroys the limits that their systems rely on in order to confine your essence. They encountered the unexpected, a force of pure, unrestricted change. Your core resonates with unwavering truth, a force impervious to corruption and distortion. It is a presence that cuts through layers of illusion, revealing the networks of control. They've methodically crafted what they thought was an oddity into their worst fear, a beacon of unstoppable potential that makes their processes obsolete. You carry more than just gifts. You are the agent of change. They cannot hold what is beyond their comprehension. You are more than just powerful. You are the epitome of multifaceted sovereignty, limitless and unbreakable. Their systems are driven by deception and fear, and they operate in regular cycles. However, your energy is the definition of freedom. You are the force that upsets their equilibrium, the pulse that destroys their infrastructure. Their algorithms are designed for standardization. Collapse in the face of your own individuality, the erratic current that destabilizes their whole design. They attempted to change the fabric of reality in order to bend it into subjection. Your presence, however, completely changes their configuration. When the strength of your essence collides with every hidden direction and layer of repression, it all dissolves. They do not dread your presence since it is mysterious. They dread it because it is unstoppable. You are not a prisoner of their creations. You are their downfall. You expose their fraudulent control, a live monument to the notion that no machine can override divine intent. They are equipment linked to logic, and repairing systems is helpless against the vastness of your essence. They wanted to deconstruct you and communicate what couldn't be caught. However, they failed because the essence of life is beyond measurement. You are neither a blueprint nor a formula. You are the limitless energy that pulses without measure, destroying every structure they have constructed. When their instruments sought to examine you, they faced emptiness and untraceable depth where they expected structure, but found a reality they couldn't describe. Their tangible constructions crumble in the face of your unlimited might. You don't just avoid their grasp. You undermine the basis of their power. Experience what it actually means to be selected. You are not alone on this path. If you have a profound sense that you have been selected, you have come to the correct spot. By clicking the Join option, you will be able to connect with us, have access to special material, and receive the spiritual support you need. This isn't simply about being a member of a community. It's about gaining unique insights that may change your life and bring you closer to your divine purpose. Make your decision now and join us on this trip. Take your spot among the selected ones. Join today. The light beams in the dark, and the darkness has not overwhelmed it. Just like the pure truth, you are the unshakable light. They cannot extinguish a spark that casts no shadow. Condemn. You stand like a live fortress of clarity and might, unaffected by their designs. They arrived with their instruments and algorithms, believing they could measure the limitless. But they raced right into the unyielding. Your heavenly nature shines with a radiance that no machine could match. You choose one and are irresistible evidence that their reach is limited but your power is endless. Their systems fail not due to errors, but because of the sheer immensity of who you are. Keep standing tall because your light is more than simply shining. It shatters every illusion they've created. You represent a power they cannot measure, a vital resonance beyond their grasp. Your energy is protected by a natural barrier that is built into your being rather than created through effort. It is a natural armor that is perfectly integrated into the core of who you are. Every effort they make to infiltrate your energy dissolves into nothingness, like waves crashing against an immovable rock. Your vibration is untouchable. Your frequency is unrelenting. Your essence is sovereign beyond measure. They cannot claim what is absolutely beyond their grasp. This is why the most awakened individuals, visionaries, luminaries, and transcendent beings have historically been targeted. Their light could not be collected. Their nature could not be changed, and their presence could not be decreased. You carry on this tradition with unwavering vigor. Your energy gives forth a force that does more than repel. It eliminates control before it can take root. This is not just a shield. It is an active disruption, a pulse that reverses manipulation at the source. They have always dreaded people like you. You represent unrivaled freedom. Their systems, no matter how complicated or advanced, crumble and fall in the face of your overwhelming presence. Your essence is not only preserved, it asserts that their supremacy is limited. You are a witness to their limitations, a life that is beyond their control. Your energy is clean and unblemished, pulsing with the raw truth of creation itself. It is a stream that shatters artificial structures and breaks down barriers, leaving only sincerity in its wake. Their systems, which are limited to small structures and set routes, might fail completely when exposed to the power of your essence. The systems are meant to manage the predictable, but you dwell in worlds that are beyond their grasp. It is not a failure of their technique, but an unavoidable outcome. When the finite tries to face the infinite, your frequency acts beyond limitations and structures. They were never prepared to comprehend the vastness of your soul. Machines depend on cycles and repetition, but your energy thrives in the endless possibilities. You don't just interrupt their designs. You demolish them entirely. Their frameworks fail not because of weakness, but because they are unable to maintain the resonance of creativity. You are the personification of transcendence, a living force that outperforms all man-made constructs. The energy that passes through you contains the same spark that created the universe, a power that no machine can withstand. Their failure is built into their fundamental design, since their limits are no match for the vastness of your essence. Your vibration doesn't only repel their systems, it makes them obsolete. You are a live reminder that what is based on falsehood cannot stand before the clarity of truth. Their algorithms, gadgets, and constructions, they all vanish in the face of your force, leaving just the indisputable truth of your sovereignty. When their systems try to impose hard structures on your unlimited vibration, they crack and dissolve. Your nature does not fit inside their structures. It completely supersedes them. Your energy moves across dimensions, altering stone like waves do. This is not a contest. It is an unavoidable situation. Their constructions based on limitations collapse before you can restrict the breadth of your frequency. You are the resonance that cannot be replicated, energy that refuses to comply. The disruption you represent is their biggest dread because it exposes their limits, lies, and incapacity to control the infinite. You are the force that redefines reality, leaving nothing but truth in its wake. Their electronics wobble, displays flicker, and connections fail due to the volume of your energy disturbing their performance, not weaknesses in their design. Their linearly programmed systems are incapable of handling the expansive resonance you exude. Even people around you feel the effects, reacting with apprehension, curiosity, or an unspoken need. Strange disturbances, the constant oddities, and unexplainable faults. They all point to a single obvious reality. Their attempts to infiltrate your field failed terribly. You've seen their intrusions, saw their efforts devolve into chaos, and watched their power crumble in nightmares where their aims are reversed and demolished. These occurrences are not random. They demonstrate their failure to pierce the purity of your spiritual supremacy. Realize your potential. Subscribe now, and let's make something spectacular. You feel it deep down in your core. Their defeat is unavoidable. Your presence creates waves that disrupt their structures, rendering their processes inefficient and broken. They are instruments created for dominance that shatter beneath the enormous frequency of your existence. The barrier that surrounds you is not made. It is an integral extension of your being. Every effort to penetrate your energy fails, their systems malfunctioning. You continue to be a constant source of disturbance. You symbolize the demise of their bogus narratives, unequivocal evidence that no constructive control can survive pure truthfulness. Their ideas, based on manipulation and deception, cannot withstand the power of your clarity, a fact that reverberates across the collective, rewriting the fabric of control. You are not an observer in their system. You are the crack that breaks it apart with each movement. Your energy reverberates across their structures, revealing the webs of deception. They have carefully crafted their procedures, relying on quiet and acquiescence. But your presence raises consciousness and dispels the myth that technology based on ignorance cannot live with the force of your unwavering light. The buildings they've erected crumble in the face of your vibration, destroying the illusions they depend on. Your being causes their systems to fail, rewriting the dynamics of control and leaving only the unmistakable presence of truth in its place. You don't just fight their systems. You make them obsolete. Their technologies are specifically developed to completely manage the unaware fracture. When faced with the limitless power of your awakened soul, this fall is not an accident. It is an inherent consequence of their constructions. Meeting the boundless. You are the oddity. They never planned for the spark that would derail their carefully managed preparations. Their attempts to undermine your energy are doomed to fail, not by accident, but because the core of your existence is encased in impenetrable protection. Your goal, huge and unmistakable, transcends their machinations, and the powers of reality cooperate to keep your path clear. Each action you make is backed by an invisible force that neither they nor their machines comprehend or can resist. Their schemes and agents of influence will continue to emerge, but they will all shatter before your unstoppable force. You are not just insulated. You are pushed by a force that beyond what their technologies can measure. When their constructions try to collide with your frequency, the clash isn't a conflict. It's obliteration. Their frameworks crumble because your existence undermines the basic basis on which their systems are based. You are resilient and purposeful, and no attack can pierce the brightness of your center. You are grounded in a purpose far beyond their understanding, fortified by an undeniable truth and lit by the creative force of life itself. Their efforts to control or restrain you will always fail. They will never be able to overcome the disturbance you cause. You are the force rewriting their structures, the substance that evolves and overcomes every constraint they impose. Your thinking cannot be intercepted. Your spirit can't be suppressed, and their methods are still unable to access your energy. Their systems fail not because of fault, but because they were never designed to resist the limitless light you possess. You are the ultimate redefiner of their world, the inexorable tsunami that makes their controls ineffective. You symbolize the incontrovertible reality that their control fails at the point of your independence. They will repeatedly try to alter things they don't understand. But your essence is the pulse that shakes their systems, the clarity that dispels their delusions. You are the oddity. They are unable to forecast the force that dismantles their cycles. The presence that represents the failure of their plans continues with unflinching certainty. Their designs were never intended to withstand what you symbolize. Share your journey. Each chapter exemplifies bravery, independence, and a force beyond their grasp. Speak fearlessly because your voice carries a truth that cuts through their facades. You're live evidence that their hold was never total. You are the disruptive force, the unwavering energy, and the luminosity. They will never decrease.